the mic close. Of course I did. Yeah, it's working fine. There we go. Yeah, okay. Let's see. It is the aftermath of whatever happened to Kanan, right? That's where we left off. Yep. My bad, I need to read that line as well. So... We decided that all of us, including Maria, would go to the servant room. Yes, that's where we are. The bed in the servant room was stained with bright red blood. Hey, Chidori. Hello. Alright. No, not just the bed. The whole room was covered with the gruesome paint from countless bloodstains. That dreadful scene alone was enough to give us an idea of the repulsive sight they had been trying to describe.
Oh, Mariaも見る。
You sure?
マリアちゃんは僕と一緒にここで待ってようね。
Giorgianiki was standing by the entrance, covering Maria's eyes with his back to the room. He probably didn't want to dirty an innocent girl's retinas with the repulsive red in this room. That was surely the correct decision. Okay, her most iconic three-word line. Alright. Let's see. Bear be hyped. I was acting tough right now, so I didn't mind. But I would probably remember this room and start to vomit whenever I saw red paint scattered around. For the rest of my life. Well, thank God that the rest of your life is gonna be very short. Or not. My retinas already had this room burned into them. In other words, it was too late for me.
どこへ
Right after they entered the servant room, Goda-san and Shannon-chan appeared, flustered. Oh no, they split up and now they can't find the others. Oh my god. We shook, wondering what horrible new situation had arisen to fluster them for a second time. Hey, Bancho. In my Discord. Oh, does it? I'm wearing the color of truth. Okay, if you say so. Oh, I see. Oh, sad. I have to put a space in there. Yeah. Thanks for saying that. I don't know. I guess I had never clicked it, which is very bad of me because I should have tested that properly. I should know better. I will fix it. Alright. Oh my god. Right. We shook, wondering what horrible new situation had arisen to fluster them for a second time.
どうしたの？何事？
Auntie Rosa also shuddered, raised her gun high, and searched for whatever it was that had them shaken. But she couldn't find it. Yeah, that's the point. Which wasn't surprising. They were shaken because they couldn't find it.
なんだなんだどうしたってんだ一体
二人の言いたいがありません。
どういうことなの？
そんなはずないんです。確かにお二人はここに。
おいおいおいなんだよ死体がどこかへ歩いてったってのか
Ah, the embed works. Ah, so it's probably just something from Discord itself with the text. Okay. Maybe in the past it worked and it never bothered me, and then I never bothered to check it later on. Alright. The text is overdue anyway, because that's an Overwatch voice line, which I have not been doing for a very long time. So it's a good opportunity to just think of something else to write in there. So yeah, thanks for noticing and for calling my attention to it. That will fix it.
そんなわけはないだろだってこの使用人室は施錠されてたんだろそれを今ゴーダさんが開けて入ったわけじゃないかってことはなんだ ジェシカの部屋と同じってことかよ。
I was about to say yet another locked room mystery. Yay!
また密室の中から消えたってのかよ。そんなバカな。
私にも何のことやらさっぱり。私たちはこの部屋を出るとき、確かに鍵をかけて。私こそ何が何やらもうわからないのです。
I'm starting to sense a pattern with these mothers. Yeah, you think? There was a timid and pitiful smile on Goda-san's face that he definitely wouldn't have let show normally. Shannon was the same.
二人の死体が消えた。しかも鍵をかけたのに消えた。仮にカノン君が犯人だとしても、カノン君はマスターキーをもう持ってないはず。
違います。カノン君は犯人じゃありません。
シャノン。僕はシャノンを信じるよ。カノン君は犯人なんかじゃない。
I mean, did you hear the details? Or are you just blindly jumping and supporting whatever Shannon says?
きっとこれは彼によく似た何者かの仕業なんだ。
Oh, man.
いえ、カノン君はマスターキーを手に入れられたわよ。
Ah.
だって彼のマスターキーはジェシカちゃんの遺体のポケットから見つかった。そしてその鍵は誰が手に入れた？
そうだ、南條先生が。
That's right. Back then, it definitely had been Dr. Nanjo who searched through Jessica's clothes and found the master key. So if someone had the opportunity to search Dr. Nanjo's corpse, it would have been easy for them to take the master key back. Auntie Rosa searched under the bed and in the locker. By now, I also understood what that meant. If you assumed that there had been two culprits, it could be easily explained. The first person was Kanon-kun, or maybe an imposter that looked like him. He had finished off Dr. Nanjo and ran off somewhere. The second person was probably the 19th person, Beatrice, whose location was unknown. She had hidden under the bed in the servant room beforehand, and with Dr. Nanjo's body still enshrined here, she had waited for Genji-san and the rest to leave. Then after that, she had crawled out, taken the master key back from Dr. Nanjo's pocket and carried the two bodies away for some reason. If she had then... Yeah, I just want to imagine Beatrice just carrying, physically, Dr. Nanjo. Picture that in your heads for an instant. That definitely works, right? If she had then locked the door with the master key, this locked room would be created.
ジェシカの部屋の推理を前提
Not even
に
magically.
なかなか素早く組み立ててきたものよ。その方法なら魔法でなくても密室は作り出せよう。まずは及第点というところか。しかし実に面白いが、お前の言う方法で犯人がマスターキーを取り返したなら、その犯人はマスターキーをジェシカの遺体から南條が回収したことを知っていたことになる。
言われなくても分かってるぜ。あの時、あの場にいた人物以外知り得ない情報だって言いてんだろ。この第三の密室があっさり破られちまったもんで、そういう手で俺に闇を言うしかねえんだろ。同じネタの繰り返しは芸がないぜ。
Sorry. Even though I was acting tough, that move of the witches hurt bad. I could feel cracks forming in the thing I most wanted to deny. She's trying to close in on me from two directions. On the one hand, there's the frontal attack, where she tries to force me to believe in the witches, using locked room tricks that only a witch could do. And on the other hand, there's the rear attack, where she tries to lure me into thinking it would be better if there was a witch by strengthening my suspicions of those close to me. In the first locked room, the chapel, she had used a frontal attack, but it hadn't worked on me. That's undoubtedly why, with the second locked room and now the third, she started to change the direction of her attack. Rear attack. Ay. However, the fact that she was changing the direction of her attack also proved that my resistance was working a little. And she had surely given up on the frontal attack because she couldn't just win directly with it. I tried to force myself to accept my own position by thinking that. But it seemed that the witch had seen through these thoughts of mine long ago.
成功法は書かぬ。絡めては成功法と同時に進めてこそ意味がある。絡めてのみに出するは、手段が目的となった時に起こる愚策に過ぎぬぞ。
そうですかい。じゃあ、お得意の赤で、何者かが使用人室に隠れていたを復唱してもらおうじゃないか。
その必要はない。お前の推理の前提は、今から崩れる。
お拒否かよ。やっぱり誰かが隠れていたんだな。
ローザが今からお前の前提を崩す。まあ、耳を傾けてみよ。
信じてください、ローザ様。確かにここに二人の遺体を安置したんです。この床の真っ赤な血は彼らのものなのです。
Auntie Rosa began to search through various objects around the room, her back to Goda-san as he cried out in supplication. Eventually she found something and for a while stopped moving.
ローザ様、私たちは断じて嘘などついては、間違いなく二人の遺体は。
静かに。死体を隠した本人が死体はよそに持ち去ったと告白しているわ。これでね。
Rosa showed them a single sheet of paper over her shoulder.
それは一体、まさか。礼拝堂にあったのと同じ、紋章入りの封筒の手紙？
ええ、そうよ。ここに堂々と置いてあったわ。読むわね。
後宮家の皆様、黄金の碑文の謎解きはいよいよ佳境に入りましたでしょうか。皆さんに私を止めることができる唯一の方法が碑文の謎を解くことなのです。それ以外のいかなる方法をもってしても私と儀式を止めることはできません。くれぐれも皆さんの目的をお間違いなきよう。私を探そうとも無駄。私から逃れようとも無駄。私を否定しようとも無駄なのです。黄金のベアトリーチェ。
追伸、二人の遺体を儀式にお借りします。後ほどご返却いたしますので、ご容赦をお願いいたします。あと、この鍵は皆様のものですので、ご返却いたします。
As Rosa read that aloud, the contents of the envelope lay exposed on the palm of her hand. There were two master keys. The master key that Nanjo had found in Jessica's pocket, which had originally been Kanon's, and Kumasawa's master key.
なんだと？
But what's the third one? Or that's just a generic image of keys.
ってことは、どういうことだよ。ふざけんなよ、またかよ。またマスターキーを持ってる使用人しか疑えないってのかよ。
わらわは赤では言ってはおらぬぞ。
Keys that JPEG.
彼らがこの部屋に施錠をして去った時、この部屋に何者かが隠れていた可能性を。
ベッドの下にでも隠れれば死体をどこかへ運び出すのはできないことじゃない。しかしそれじゃ施錠ができない。わざわざ手に入れたマスターキーをここへ置いてっちまってる。そうだ、忘れてた。この部屋の本来の鍵である使用人室の鍵はどうなっている？
それなら使用人室の奥のキーボックスに収められているぞ。使用人室の鍵は数本あるが、そのすべてがキーボックスに収められている。
Why is only part of the sentence in red? It's confusing me a little bit.
ってことは、ジェシカの部屋の鍵の時と状況は何も変わらないってことか。使用人も便利なマスターキーがあれば不要な鍵はわざわざ持ち歩かないもんな。 キーボックスにしまわれっぱなしになってるのも納得だぜ。
その他の条件も何も変わらぬ。出入りは唯一の扉と唯一の窓から以外は不可能。故に隠し扉などの不正規な出入り手段は否定される。喜べ名探偵ども。そしてそれらはいずれも施錠されていた。扉も窓も施錠時にはいかなる出入りも許さない。つまり施錠を維持したまま扉を外す、隙間を作ってすり抜けるなどなどは通用しないということだ。当然だが扉の開錠は使用人室の鍵とマスターキー以外は不可能。毎回これを読み上げるのも面倒だの。
And it's a pain hearing them too, to be honest.
今度これをまとめて一言に略す言葉でも考えよう。
Yes, please.
だが、この部屋に誰かが隠れていたことは復唱できねえだろ。しかしそれだけでは密室の扉が破れない。ああ、クソクソダメだダメだ、全然ダメだ。
お得意のチェス盤をひっくり返すとやらはどうした？自慢の陳説をぜひ披露してみよ。
チェス盤をひっくり返す。俺が犯人ならどうする？死体をどこかへ運び出す。手紙を残す。内側から鍵を閉める。ここから何かの方法で部屋を脱出すればいいんだ。くそ、そんな方法はあるのか？扉と窓以外からは外に出られないと赤で言われちまってる。あ。
At that moment, I got it. That's right. Carry the corpses, leave the letter. And not rely on a hidden door. In other words, not even able to escape. That's it. This isn't a question, it's an answer.
ベアト、復唱要求の前にお前の言う隠し扉の定義を確認したい。
Ah, there we go.
何を思いついたやら。よかろう。隠し扉とは知らぬ人間が認識できぬ出入り口のことであろうが。
What about those who know of it?
そんなこと子供でも知っておろう。
Then it's no longer a secret. I think I mentioned something about that, like... Yeah.
つまり部屋の外に出られなかったらそれは隠し扉じゃないってことだよな。
Ah, I see where he's taking it. Okay.
ほう。そうきたか。
俺は犯人は密室から抜け出したものだとばかり思っていた。違うんだ。犯人だって密室から脱出できなかったんだ。だから隠れてやり過ごそうとした。
I had used this theory for the second locked room and reasoned that Kanun-kun might have done this. But I had given up the reasoning when I was told Kanun-kun was killed in red. And next, I had reasoned that if there had been a third person in the room, it would have been possible for them to escape through a hidden door. And that was when, for the first time, the claim had been made in red that no hidden doors exist. And what I'd learned just now, these hidden doors the witch was talking about refer to things that made it possible to get into or out of the room. In other words, things that didn't permit entry or exit to the outside and also wouldn't be noticed by people who didn't know about them wouldn't fall under the definition of hidden door. In other words, if there were, for example, something like a hidden shelf or a secret closet, they wouldn't be defined as hidden doors. In other words, the third person in Jessica's room was hiding here, waiting for us to pass by. Heh, how pathetic, just a little playing around with words. Yeah, this is the one thing that I dreaded from the very beginning. Oh, I'm just gonna say the truth in red. Okay. With this method, it looks like I can even manage the third locked room, the servant room. If there's a hidden shelf under the bed or anything like that, that would be enough. The culprit's hiding somewhere, waiting for us to leave. The culprit is also trapped in the locked room even now, which means, at this very moment, the culprit is still hiding in the servant room, holding their breath. And that means, what the hell? Even though we've been tortured with locked rooms 3 times, in this very moment we've actually gotten the culprit in checkmate.
ようやく見えてきたぜ。くらえベアト。 副将要求。この部屋には俺たち以外の誰もいない。俺たちってのは俺、ジョージの兄貴、マリア、ローザおばさん、ゲンジさん、ゴーダさん、シャノンちゃんのことだぜ。どうだ、言えねえだろ。
ほうほう。
痛えとこ疲れただろ。拒否なら拒否と言いやがれ。次行くぜ。気象要求。
I don't know how they're hiding in this room. But if that's a fact, then this also resolves the second locked room, Jessica's room, at the same time. I finally caught her by the tail. I don't know, I wouldn't pounce so fast on the idea that haha, I figured it out. Let's take it with, you know, caution. With this I can explain everything. Witches don't exist. I don't have to doubt anyone. Alright, starting now, I'll flip it over. The next thing I'll request she repeats is...
この部屋にはお前たち以外は存在しない。
There it is.
お前たちの定義とは、バトラー、ジョージ、マリア、ローザ、ゲンジ、ゴーダ、シャノンのことを指す。ジェシカの部屋に話を戻す。ジェシカの死体発見時、バトラー、ジョージ、マリア、ローザ、ゲンジ、ゴーダ、シャノン、熊沢、南條のみだった。おっと、死体のジェシカももちろん含む。よって、ジェシカの部屋の件、そしてこの使用人室の件の両方について、そなたが認識していた以外の人間は存在しない。誰も隠れていない。さらに言おう。扉は鍵を使用せずに外から施錠する方法は存在しない。窓については外からはいかなる方法でも施錠する方法は存在しない。ついでに言おう。そなたは無能だ。
Oh god. Is this the line? This is the line. Yes, there it is. Bear is hyped. Okay. Yeah, mystery solved. Roll the credits. Our job is done. Let's go home. Let's go to bed. Oh man. Okay, I feel though that saying that in red and then having the hee in red as well completely shatters any sort of upper standing that things said in red had, or I was trying to still hold a certain respect for them. Now I'm like, okay, fine. If you're even gonna put that in red, then what the heck? Yeah, sure. Bear, when you post the next batch of red truths, please make sure to properly type the hee. That's very, very important. I think even the amount of I's and H's in this is a very important clue. Oh god. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. It's just okay. Let's move on.
それじゃ本当に密室じゃねえかよ。
Also, Battler is the kind that, man, the moment he's faced with a bit of hardship, he's like, oh, everything is over, I'm doomed, the world is crashing on my shoulders and I can't hold it up. Just pull yourself up, man.
せっかく思いついたのに。お前が隠れていたんなら全て説明がついたのに。
I would have found that extremely boring, to be honest.
トリックを打ち破れたと思ったってのに。くそ。
It's no good, no good, no good, no goddamn good. For a second, I thought I had it. It was no goddamn good at all. Bad teacher, you bitch. Ugh. I thought you were all smoke and mirrors, playing word games that made clever use of red. I was certain you just cleverly deceived me. Just when I thought I'd seen a light in the darkness, it disappeared. It just disappeared, swallowed up by a blood-red sea. Red. Red, 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 red. Red. No one is hiding, and there's no hidden door and no way to trick the doors or the windows while they're locked. Have you just proven that it's all impossible? Has the devil's proof been pulled off with a frontal attack? Impossible. This is impossible.
どうしたのだ後ろ宮バトラー。魔女を否定する気で満々だったじゃない。そんなところで這いつくばって悔し涙を絞り出してどうしたんだい。ああ、それはとっても素敵な方法。わらわを笑い転げさせて笑い涙の海で溺れ殺してやろうというのは確かに素敵。実はそうなんだろう。わらわを笑って笑って笑い殺してやろうって手なんだろう。後ろ宮バトラー。
Oh man.
何か魔法だ。魔女なんて絶対に否定してやる。
Yeah, now he's done with the wailing and he's kind of coming back to his senses again.
お前なんて絶対に信じない。魔法の力でみんなを面白半分にいじめ殺してるなんて絶対に認める。
なあバトラー。
Take that, Batora.
いじめすぎて悪かった。わらわ側からチェス盤をひっくり返してやるぞ。お前に代わってお前側の最善手を教えてやるよ。聞きたい？
ふざけんな。聞きたくねえ聞きたくね
え。ジェシカの部屋の件、そなたは実に良いところをついていたのだぞ。隠れてやり過ごそうとした。これは実にいい着眼だった。だがなぜそれをカノンと19人目のわらわにしか考えなかった？そうか、隠れてやり過ごすの隠れてが邪魔だったから考えが至らなかったか。ほーらもうわかるだろう。ジェシカだよ、ジェシカ。
If Jessica were the culprit, a farce like this could be easily constructed. She killed Kanon-kun. Just reading that hurts so much, in so many ways, but okay, I know it's just a hypothesis. Yeah, so she killed Kanon-kun and carried him off somewhere. Then she played dead and let us walk by. But that's ridiculous. Dr. Nanjo had definitely checked that she was dead. So is Dr. Nanjo an accomplice too? That's wrong. I had also made sure that Jessica was really dead. Sure, I'd never performed an examination of a corpse before, but she was definitely dead. I think she was dead. You can't say she was definitely dead and then in the next breath say, I think. No, she probably, surely, definitely, at least I think so, but she has to be. No, she was dead. She was dead.
ジェシカもグルなのよ。そして検視をした南條もグル。ならば第三の密室など茶番だろうが。
Yeah, then it's simple. Dr. Nanjo was an accomplice, so in other words, he was on the culprit's side. So in other words, he was never killed in the first place? We thought that he had been killed and the body had disappeared, but he wasn't in the servant room in the first place. Then is Kumasawa Ba-chan, who disappeared with him, also an accomplice? That's not all. The servants who are going along with that story, Genji-san and Goda-san and even Shannon-chan, are accomplices. Then the one who stole the key from Maria's handbag was Jessica. No, it's also possible it was George Aniki. Yes, everyone is in cahoots to kill everyone else somehow. Yeah, that must be it. You're the only one left out. Sorry. This is what you get for coming back only 60 years after. They all moved on without you and they plotted all of this. I'm not being serious. After all, if Shannon-chan was on the culprit's side, then George Aniki would automatically be on the culprit's side as well. Wait a second, just wait a second. They're all wolves. They're all wolves. Not only am I drowning in an ocean of bright red blood, there are packs of wolves clamoring on the banks, whose blazing eyes tell me that if I crawl out, they'll eat me. Which way should I die? Will I have everything denied and drown in a bright red sea? Will I know the truth and have my whole body chewed to bits by the wolves? It's either one hell or the other. I can't choose. Ah. Yeah, they forgot. They forgot to let him in on the secret.
さあ後ろ宮バトラーひざまずけ
Why is that in red?
そして永遠の忠誠を誓ってわらわの靴を舐めるがいいわらわを認めれば全ての謎に決着がつくわらわの力をもってすればどのような密室も生み出せそして打ち破れるバトラー力ある者に屈服する喜びに身を委ねたくはないそなたはわらわの一番のお気に入りの家具にしてやるよ
And I don't know, I'm so put off by this, because okay, I understand this is how Beatrice acts towards Battler, and I can accept that, and I can accept this is her character, and this is well within the what she has already been built up to be. But I feel like I said earlier, I was trying to give some sort of legitimacy to this red thing in my head, even though from the very beginning it smelled like it could be icky, you know. And all up to people's interpretations and assumptions when you say the truth, right? Like when it was the thing with like, oh, what's actually the definition of a hidden door? Because you say hidden door, but you might understand something else, and I understand when I hear hidden door, right? And stuff like that. But now when she's using it in this way, Neil, I'll make you my favorite piece of furniture. What does this have to do with anything? Is this really a truth? In which way is this a truth? I feel like it kind of like demolishes any legitimacy this mechanic, let's say, had before. I'm just rolling my eyes, like being okay, sure, great. Are you telling me that he is not necessary? It's a prophecy, okay, I don't know. All the while, Kinzo, that goddamn old geezer, sitting in his comfy beach chair, getting suntan and drinking those cocktails with small umbrellas in them. Ah, man, I want one of those too. Ah, yeah.
そなたを愛して愛して灰になるまでわらわの玩具にしてやるよ
And the cackle, that is definitely so. And the ya-ya-yas infused in between the he-he-he's and the ha-ha-ha's. Yes, those are definitely vital as well.
Huh? と言いますと
あなたたちが死んだという二人はここにいない。そしてベアトリーチェからの手紙があり、親切にも死体は持ち去ったと告白してくれている。そういうことよ。もう茶番は飽き飽きしたわ。
As Auntie Rosa yelled this, she looked over at everyone with a harsh expression.
茶番ってどういう意味ですか？
私はジェシカちゃんの部屋で言ったわ。信用できるのは自分自身と死体となって見つかった者以外いないってね。そして死体が見つからない以上、あの二人が殺されたことを認めるわけにはいかない。
I mean, she is right. She hasn't seen it with her own eyes, and she is right to doubt everything that she cannot ascertain for herself. That part I will not deny her.
待ってください、ローザおばさん。それはどういう意味ですか？
南條先生と熊沢さんは死んでないわ。生きている。殺されたということにしてこの屋敷のどこかに隠れてるのよ。私たちを襲うためにね。
なんでそんなことがわかるんですか？ゴーダさんたちが嘘をついていると言うんですか？
ローザ様、この合田、いえ、後宮家使用人一同、誓ってそのようなことはいたしません。
あなたたちは南條先生たちは殺されたという。でも死体がない以上それを信じるわけにはいかないわ。あなたたちが口裏を合わせてそういう嘘をついている可能性があるもの。
It's all Goda's fault.
あなたたちの無実を信じる方法はちゃんとあるわよ。
I mean, like I said, I don't like him, but I wouldn't gang up on him either.
南條先生と熊沢さんの遺体が見つかることよ。それが見つかったら私はあなたたちの話を聞いてみようという話にもなるわ。でも見つからない限りあなたたちは狼であることを否定できない。あんたも黄金に目がくらんであの魔女に買収されたんでしょう。そんなに金が欲しい？そうなんでしょう。一生遊んで暮らしたいの？そんな人生に何の価値があるのよ。
ローザ様、私たちはそんな。
黙りなさい。そしてシャノン、それ以上近づかないで。10年も恩を受けながらそれをあだで返すなんて容赦なく引き金を引くわよ。
そんなのってひどすぎます。
ローザおばさん、それは暴言だ。この部屋で殺人が起こった。そして犯人が死体を持ち去った。彼女たちはそれを正直に申告しているだけだ。
Shannon had finally broken down in tears. She had sacrificed 10 years to the Ushiromiya family. She had sacrificed 10 of the most brilliant years of her life. And she had believed that she had built up a friendly relationship with Rosa as well. And this was how she was treated. You could kill a person without using a knife. It wasn't just George Aniki. Even I could recognize that Shannon-chan had been stabbed deep into her heart as blood by the name of tears flowed out.
シャノンさん、下がって。ローザ様、確かにこの合田はお勤めして日も浅く、信用を勝ち得ていないのはわかります。しかし、せめてシャノンさんだけでも信じていただくわけには参りませんか。
Oh? Goda doing something selfless?
彼女は10年間も後宮家に奉仕を捧げて参りました。
And done your chores on top of her own.
この合田を信じろとは申しません。せめてシャノンさんだけでも信じてやっていただくわけには参りませんか。
But I don't understand anymore. I don't understand. We can't seek an answer without suspecting them. That's it. Bit by bit, I'm starting to understand. It's because we seek an answer. That's why everything keeps getting stranger. We don't need an answer. These are all strange murders committed with bizarre magic by the 19th person, the witch Beatrice, as she follows a creepy ritual. Isn't that good enough? I don't want to suspect anyone anymore. Shannon-chan and Goda-san were protesting their innocence, half in tears. Genji-san quietly stopped that.
よしなさい。ローザ様の言うことはもっともだ。死体を見つけない限り、南條先生と熊沢の無実は証明できない。
Hey, Deslane, how's it going? This is an interesting twist. Until we find the corpses, we cannot prove that they are innocent. Not that they are dead, but that they're innocent. That's right. By Rosa-san's argument, if the corpses could be found, then the innocence of at least those people could be proved. But only the people who were corpses. Even if they searched around the mansion and found the corpses in the end, their own innocence would not be proved. They had abducted Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa-san, killed them in another place, and locked the room with their own master keys. Unless the locked room could be broken by a method other than that one, it would be impossible to prove their innocence. But that couldn't be done. They only have one chance to prove their innocence. That can only happen when they meet with the culprit, become corpses, and are reunited with Auntie Rosa. That's messed up. Innocent if they die, guilty as long as they live, almost like a witch's trial. Oh right, the enemy is a witch. So that makes it okay? Oh my god. I hadn't thought of that. Oh fuck.
ローザ様、私たちは後宮家にお仕えする家具です。
家具です。
私とも信用されるもされないもまた、たとえどのようなご評価をいただこうとも、最後の時までお務めを続けるのみでございます。
あなたは本当に使用人の鏡ね。お父様が心を許すのもよくわかるわ。そんなあなたまで疑わなくてはならないなんて、本当に心苦しいわ。
Keiji-san stuck his hand into his pocket and pulled out the master key. Then he set it on an adjacent table. It's interesting to see Rosa being so decisive and confident. Yeah, she's just also being confident in things that maybe she should take with a grain of salt. But yeah, I get it. These are formidably weird circumstances.
私は信頼の証としてこれを預かっていると信じています。それを失ったなら、これをお返しするのは当然かと思います。
Man, it's not that. It's just that I am in somehow like there's multiple layers here, right? It's the characters involved in whatever twisted version of the story we're seeing now, because it's different from the first episode and I don't understand yet what to make of them being different. Then there's the meta battler and Beatrice who are having their rows or whatever rows and banters and whatever exchanges, and then there's me. And there's actually yet another layer, which is you guys, because you know a lot more than me, because you've been through all this rodeo before, right? So I am here observing these, but I'm just looking at a table of just absolutely scattered pieces that I don't know how to put together. And, you know, you might have like a strategy when you make a puzzle, like you could start, for example, identifying edge pieces, right? Any piece that has like a straight line on it, that's an edge, so let's put those first together and then we fill in the blanks. Yeah, that's all great until you find a puzzle that has pieces with straight edges in the middle of it. Then you're like, okay, then I don't even know where to start, where to begin with this, because it feels like anything could fit and nothing could fit at the same time. So I'm just in this weird state where I don't understand what any of these things mean. Because if I am to fully trust all of the scenes that we have already witnessed of Beatrice doing her magic thing and summoning her familiars and her servants and whatnot, then why are we even reading this? Like, okay, sure, fine, Beatrice is a witch, she did it, magic exists, roll credits, turn off the stream and go to bed, right? But we're still here and there's still a bunch of episodes to go. So I feel like, okay, I'm seeing that, but maybe I'm not supposed to take it as some sort of truth. Maybe there's something else in there that I should take just, you know, as a metaphor or something. A metaphor of what? I don't know. I'm just generally... I don't know. Imagine not solving the entirety of Umineko from the first scene alone. I mean... Yukishi is very experienced in this genre, so he knows that he will attract all kinds of readers, which makes it interesting how how he plays around with expectations. I think that's what you meant to say. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I'm in the state where I don't know what any of these things mean, but I can, like, in isolated instances, react to things. Like, I can react and be like, I don't like Beatrice so far. I have seen nothing of hers that I should even like. I think you can not necessarily agree with me, but you can understand where I'm coming from, right? I know she's your favorite character, and I respect that. I have no problem with it, but so far, like, why should I like her? She has bullied and even murdered, let's say, if that is even what I'm supposed to call it, some of the characters that so far I actually liked. So, why? You know? But at the same time, I feel like it would be a mistake to fall, or to, like Battler does, to immediately pounce onto something. Oh, it's this, or oh, it's that. I'm 100%. Now that I heard this one other detail, now I'm 100% that it's this. And then you hear another detail, it completely demolishes it. So I'm just being prudent. I'm not jumping to conclusions. So far, I'm in this weird state where I'm just looking at the table of pieces being completely spilled over and I don't know how to put them together. And every time I do a stream and we go through a piece of content, they kind of like swish around somehow, kind of like feeling, oh, these might go together, but maybe not, but maybe yes. So I haven't put it together yet. I don't know if I even will by the end of it. Gotta flip that chessboard. Yeah, flip it, make the pieces fly into the ether. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And at the same time, like, it's hard to even suspect someone specifically, because there are characters that we've seen very little of, mostly by virtue of them being dead from the very get-go in both episodes so far, and also characters of which I have seen some glimpses of something, and for some of them I actually really like those glimpses of something, right? So, and at the same time, everything that I have seen of characters that might be indicative of their negative traits and like their darkness or whatever, I don't feel like it justifies what is happening in any sort of way. Because sure, people have killed or have done very questionable things for money or inheritance or so on. But these murders, they're taking to such a level of overkill, especially the first ones, that it's like, is it really motivated by money? Because, oh my god, you could have gone about it like a lot more inconspicuously, I guess. Like, you didn't have to make such a fanfare out of it. And yet, the more we progress, the more that happens. So I am compelled to think it's not the inheritance, it's not the money, or at least it's not just that. There's layers there that we don't know so far. So I don't know. If the magic is real, we are wasting our time with discussing keys and doors. If there's a human culprit, we're wasting time reading the magical scenes. Pick your poison. I know. That has been the duality of the novel so far. And at the same time, allow me to throw in yet another layer of why I am really not into this whole conversation of like, ooh, how did they do it? Locked room, keys, they're hiding. There's the definition of hidden doors that like doesn't really match. They're probably whatever. I really don't care. Okay, it can be interesting up to a certain point to follow the reasoning and try to see, oh, how could this have been achieved or whatever. And the banter between Battler and Beatrice can be fun at some points. But I am not so much interested in the how. I want to understand the why, right? So if it's a human doing this, I want to know why, because this is crazy bananas kind of deal. Like, there's definitely something up with that person or people, generally speaking, if there's multiple of them. I want to know why. I don't really care that much how, if that makes sense. And if the reality of it is that we're in a fantasy land and there's magic and whatever, okay, sure, but still I'm interested in the why. Why would she be so cruel? Why is she so such a big bully of everything? Like, there must be something more to it than just, oh, I'm bored, I'm just gonna toy with you. So I want to understand the why. Magic is real. Ooh, ooh. Yeah. If you're overwhelmed, never forget you have an ally waiting in the tea room. Aww. I'm interested in the right thing. Okay, well, thank you. So, I'm listening. I'm paying attention to what Butler and Bad Teacher are saying about the locked rooms and so on. It's just... Even if I were to be like, oh, I put these together and then I came to this conclusion and I cracked it, this is the answer, it still wouldn't be satisfying for me. Because I don't care how it was achieved. I want to understand why. That's all. That's why I read it as a fantasy and had a blast. Well, yeah, to each their own, you know? Whatever facet of the story you care most about, engage with it and try to think about it as much as you can. Why is a great question indeed. Personally, I was very interested in how, with the idea that I derive who and why from there. Okay. You can pick and choose, basically. Okay. Well, then that settles it. I mean, it's not that I've been doing it much differently thus far, right? I will still pay attention to everything the story puts forward. But I just feel like right now there's it's leaning so much into the direction of explaining how that I'm struggling to pick any hint of why, at least so far. But okay, I'll be more cautious about it, I guess. I've seen people who didn't bother with the mystery at all, but they still loved it because of the characters, for example. Yeah, I mean, it has very solid legs to stand on, aside from the mystery part.
それはいい判断ね。今日、何度もあなたたちが疑われてきた最大の根拠は、このマスターキー。それを手放せば、疑いが晴らせるのではないかというのは、初歩的ではあるけれど、まあ悪いことじゃないと思うわ。
二人とも。
Genji-san looked at Goda-san and Shannon-chan. The two of them nodded and set their own master keys onto the table. Auntie Rosa laid the two master keys that had come out of the envelope on top. With that, all 5 master keys were gathered in this place. In other words, this was proof that all of the servants' service until today had been negated. And even the final honor that they should have been permitted had been stripped from them.
マリア、その手提げを貸しなさい。
Auntie Rosa snatched Maria's handbag, tossed all the master keys in there noisily, then lifted one out and held it up for all to see. She was announcing that she had all of the master keys.
これで満足かい、ローザおばさん。これでマスターキーはローザおばさんが持つものだけだ。これで満足なんだろう。
ええ、満足よ。たとえ全員が信用できなくても、私は私自身だけを信用することができる。その私が銃とマスターキーを独占できた。これで私はもう誰も疑わずに済むの。あなたたちも嬉しいでしょ？
I really don't think that is the direction to go from here, but okay.
これでもう疑われずに済む。
The butterfly on her back. Something is up. Then Maria, who had looked like a spectator off by herself, sneered at her mother. Auntie Rosa reacted nervously to that laugh and turned around.
鍵なんか関係ないよ。ベアトリーチェは魔法で扉を開けられる。鍵なんていらない。そんなもの、誰が持っていたって持っていなくたって関係ないんだよ。
その笑い方をやめなさいっていつも言ってるでしょ。なーに、バトラ君。
I had just cut between the two of them. No, that's not it. I was on my knees and hugging Maria's head. I was crying. What's happening?
もうよしてくれよ、ローザおばさん。 マリアが正しかったんだ。
何を言っているの？
マリア、疑って悪かった。信じなくて悪かった。
バトラ。
全部魔女の仕業だったんだ。魔女のトリックとかミスとかどうでもよかったんだ。ただベアトリーチェっていう魔女が実在して本当に魔女だっただけなんだ。それも俺は信じなかったからこんなにも苦しくて。
バトラはベアトリーチェを信じてくれる？
ああ、
Hmm.
信じる。ベアトリーチェはいるんだ。そして不思議な魔法を使う魔女なんだ。
バトラ。
Maria let go of my hand, and then she was the one holding my
それ
hand.
でいいんだよ、バトラ。ベアトリーチェはいたの。バトラがなかなかそれを信じられなかったから見えなかったの。魔女はいるの。いる。もうすぐ来る。バトラはベアトを信じてくれたからきっと黄金鏡へ招かれるよ。もうすぐだから。もう何も怖くない。怖くないよ。マリアと一緒にお手手をつないで、ずっと一緒に非分の謎を考えよう。ベアとの問題を考えよう。ベアとは最初から言ってるよ。この問題を解いて遊ぼうとしか言ってないよ。
ああ、そうだったんだ。
Yeah, she was also innocent and sweet and only had good intentions.
犯人探しなんて全くの時間の無駄だったんだ。俺たちはただ魔女を
After softly brushing my cheek as my tears kept dripping down, Maria kissed my forehead as soft as a feather. That would be super sweet and cute if it weren't for what's exactly happening and what Battler is saying. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or if he actually believes, because at this point I don't know how to feel. For just that instant, Maria's smile, which I had once thought was creepy, looked like an angel. No, it is cute. I'm not denying that.
マスターキーはお返ししましたが、私どもの後ろ宮家への忠誠は変わりません。客前は以後、お許しがない限り立ち入りません。どうかローザ様も客間を内側より施錠なさってください。
本当に殊勝な人ね。台風が過ぎ去ってこの島に再び海猫の鳴き声が戻ってきたなら、私たちは再び互いを信頼し合えるのかしら。
I won't matter because you'll all be dead, so...
もし再びの信頼を賜えるのでしたら、これに勝る喜びはありません。
そうね。私たちは必ず分かり合えるわ。海猫の鳴く頃に。
Title drop.
この部屋は警察が来るまでこのままにした方が良いでし
She said the thing, yes. Such a sense of deja vu as last
ょう。
time.
ローザ様、施錠をお願いいたします。私たちは厨房へ戻ります。何かございましたらいつでもご用命ください。
I mean, how? Phones are down. They're in a locked room. They're just gonna yell, "Ah! I need tea!" What?
ありがとう。あなたが狼だったなら、なんてシャーシャーとのたまうのか。そしてあなたが羊だったなら、あなたを狼の檻に放り出して、ごめんなさい。
家具は家に運命を委ねます。命を落とすことになろうとも。それによってローザ様の信頼を再び勝ち取れるならば、それはとても光栄なことです。
No. No. You shouldn't throw away your life just for the possibility of regaining someone's trust. That's weird. Oh Oh, this is like when the sea cats flip the furniture. The images I'm getting in my head. Oh god, that's so good. uh...
できることならば、あなたたちが台風が過ぎ去るまで元気でいることを願っています。これはすべて台風が奏でる暴風と降雨の競争曲。演奏が終われば幕が下り、私たちは再び手を取り合えるに違いない。
Together in death, probably, yeah, maybe.
海猫の泣く頃に。
She said it again. Auntie Rosa nodded in response. Genji-san turned on his heels. He left the servant room. Goda-san's face was still streaked with tears. But as he had listened to Genji-san's words, maybe he had managed to sort out his heart. Stop dropping the I mean, to be fair, one thing that I will give to Rosa, that Natsuhi doesn't have so much, is that Rosa is a lot more poetic. Stop dropping the title to Death Flag. Yeah, maybe. His face had been truly shameful, but it had returned to the face of the Goda-san we knew well.
私も厨房に控えております。
Dead with a smile on your face, yes, that's how you'll be waiting.
何かございましたらいつでもご用命ください。温かい食事をお望みでしたらいつでもこのゴーダ最高のお料理を用意させていただきます。
Remember that they can't trust that because you might put poison in it, though.
ありがとう。
These small tender moments are always a highlight for me. Umineko gives the character so much more depth. Yeah, I'll give it that.
あなたには明日の朝食を頼みたいわ。明日の昼前には船も来るでしょう。今までありがとう。六軒島で唯一の楽しみがあなたの食事だったわ。
かしこまりました。このゴーダ最高の朝食を用意いたします。どうか明日の朝を楽しみにしてください。
ありがとう。シャノンちゃんも明日の朝に美味しいコーヒーを飲みながら仲直りをしましょう。
Wishful thinking.
ジョージ君。
He's not
僕
coming.
も
Yeah,
彼らと一緒に行く。
he's not coming with you.
いいんです。庄司様、どうか客間にお戻りになってください。もうマスターキーは他にありません。だからローザ様とご一緒に客間にいれば誰にも脅かされません。
そうね。そういうことになってる。客間に私と一緒にいるのが客観的に考えて一番安全だと思うわ。でも無理に一緒にいろとは言わない。ジョージ君はジョージ君の安全だと思う場所にいればいい。
Well, if he's a man of his word, then his own safety is no longer as important as someone else's. So.
ジョージ君ももう大人だものね。
Yeah, exactly.
明日の朝までどこで誰と過ごそうと自由だもの。
そうさ。僕の判断で誰と夜を過ごすか決める。
兄貴。
バトラ君はローザおばさんと客間にいるんだ。きっとそれが一番安全なんだ。客間の外はそれに比べたら安全ではないと思う。
Yes, yet I am cool and I'm choosing the unsafe side.
ならそんな場所にいる彼女を僕は一人にしておけない。
俺は
Because you're cool.
決してシャノンちゃんや他の使用人を、いや誰かを疑ってるわけじゃないんだ。誰も疑いたくないんだ。いいさ。黄金？そんなのくだらねえじゃねえかよ。そんなので殺し合いなんてあるわけねえじゃねえかよ。
バトラ君の心が美しいことは僕が一番知っている。誰も君を責めない。誰も。
兄貴。
大丈夫。バトラはマリアが守る。マリアと一緒なら ベアトリーチェでも手出しできない。だってマリアは、ちっちゃくても、魔女だもの。
うん。マリアちゃん、バトラー君を、よろしく。さあ、シャノン、行こう。
はい。ローザ様、それでは、失礼させていただきます。ご用命がございましたら、いつでもお呼びつけください。
さっきはひどいことを言ってごめんなさいね。明日の朝まで許さなくてもいい。でも明日の朝になったらもう一度謝らせて。
はい、ありがとうございます。
George, Aniki, and Shannon-chan left the servant room together. Now only Maria, Auntie Rosa, and I were left in this disgusting, blood-stained room. Until Genchi-san disappeared, until Goda-san disappeared, until George, Aniki, and Shannon-chan disappeared. We stood there in a daze. After their presence and their footsteps had disappeared completely, Auntie Rosa giggled at them, as though she had just remembered something pleasant.
何も信用できないわよ、家具どもが。
That one sentence made me choke.
なんでそんなことを言うんだよ。
No,
マス
no
タ
way.
ーキーは5つで全部。そんなの誰が信じるの。どうせ複製の鍵があるに決まってるのよ。彼らが懐から鍵を出したくらいで信用なんかできるものか。
そりゃあねえぜ。その鍵を置いたってのはよ、単に鍵を手放したってだけじゃねえ。あんた彼らの今日までの苦労を全て台無しにして怪我して踏みつけて、その挙句としてその鍵を手放させたんだぜ。その捨て台詞はなんだよ。ここまでして見せてなおまだ信用できないってのかよ。あんまりだぜ、あんまりだぜ、そんなのって。
悪魔の証明なのよ。マスターキーは全部で5つ。そんなこと証明不能なのよ。マスターキーが5つあることはここに置けば示せる。
At least the music is vibe material. I agree. I love that kitty emote. It's so cute. Ah ha ha ha.
でも5つ以上存在しないことは証明できない。そんなことは悪魔か魔女にしか証明できないのよ。
もうやめてくれ、もうやめて頼むよベアトリーチェ、今すぐ現れてくれ。そしてローザおばさんに赤でマスターキーは5本しかないって言ってやってくれ。頼むよ、5丁だよ。悪魔にしか証明できないんだよ。魔女のお前なら証明できるんだよ。頼むからベアト、ここに現れてローザおばさんに、マスターキーはそれで全部だからもうみんなを疑わなくていいんだって。
マスターキーは5本しかない。マスターキーは5本しかない。これはどうしたことか。わらわがいくら口にしてもローザに届かぬ。どうやらわらわの存在を否定している奴がまだいるから聞こえないみたいだな。後ろ宮バートラー。
認める、認めるよ。お前はいる、確かにいる。だから5章だよ。もうこんなのはやめてくれ。もうやめて、もうやめて。
I do empathize with the fact that this is incredibly tiring at this point, and that I can feel Battler's pain for the servants.
言葉だけでは届かぬぞ。態度で示せ。わらわの家具になると心から誓え。できるか？服を脱げ。 裸になるんだよ。そして両手をついて地に這え。着衣は霊長にのみ認められた証だ。貴様は今から家具になるんだよ。だからその資格を失う当然のこと。
Alright, Beatrice has a kink for Battler, confirmed.
そしてひざまずけよ。わらわの靴に舌を這わせろ。
Mom, Battler is being cringe again. No, I don't need that in my
で
life.
きるか？できるんだよな。そうしたら現れてやるよ。赤で言ってやる。マスターキーは5本しかないってローザに言ってやるよ。ああ、でも分かってる。誇り高きお前がプライドを捨てられるわけがない。それでもいいんだよ。十分なんだよ。ちょっとグラーってきただろ。靴を舐めてもいいかって一瞬思っただろう。すぐにそれを否定して自分を恥じただろう。その表情が見れるだけで最高に素敵な気分なんだよ。ざまねえ顔だよ。鏡で見てみろよ。裸になって靴を舐めてる最低なお前が映ってるぜ。見えるかよ、後ろ宮バトラ
Thank God that's over. Okay, I don't know how much more of that I could have taken. You can fix her. What do you mean? Oh my god.
信じられない。それが真相だというのかい？
はい。私たちは見たままのことをお話ししています。
George folded his arms and started humming again. And the kitchen was once again absorbed by a long silence.
ジョージ様がにわかには信じられない気持ちも私はよくわかります。何しろこの目で確かに見たはずの私ですらあれが何だったのかわからなくなる。私は確かに見た。そして取っ組み合いまでしたはずなんです。なのにあれが全部幻だったような気すらする。
なるほどね。あのローザおばさんに詳しく話せないわけだ。今の話を本当にしてたらもっと面倒なトラブルになっていただろうね。なるほど。源氏さんが随分冷静な対応をしていたのが分かりました。
私にそれを説明するだけの力があればよ。
George had not actually seen it, so even when pressed to believe, he just couldn't imagine it. It was only natural, because even the people who had actually seen it had ended up questioning themselves as to what it was.
話を少し巻き戻すよ。シャノンはカノン君が偽物かもしれないと思った時、クモの巣を取ってきたと言ったね。どうしてそんなことを？
そうだ。それは私も思っていました。
I love the kind of woman that will actually just kill me. Love yourself a little bit more than that. That's all I have to say.
どうしてクモの巣だったんです？
前に熊沢さんに聞いたことがあるんです。大昔の六軒島には悪霊が住んでいて、そのクモの巣を恐れたって。それでクモの巣を魔除けと尊んで大切にしたという昔話があるんだそうです。それでそのとっさに私も少し混乱していたんだと思います。
そんな話が。熊沢はそういう昔話に詳しかったな。
クモは液中ですからね。確かにそういう信仰があってもおかしくないかもしれない。
きっとその悪霊の力を あの鳥居の祠が封じ込めてたんだと思います。そして霊境が割られたので、その力が蘇ってベアトリーチェ様を蘇らせる力となってしまったに違いないのです。私が、心の弱かった私があんな大それたことをしなければ。
シャノン、その話はもうしなくても大丈夫だよ。僕は君を責めたりなんかしない。
Since long ago, Shannon had often hinted at a certain occult aspect regarding how she had met George. While he did lend an ear to her tales, George had always thought that this was typical of a girl, associating love with fate, chance, and miracles. George had thought that breaking the spirit mirror offered to the Tori shrine was going a little too far, but he had forgiven her, laughing it off just a little prank she had done because she had seriously desired a relationship with him. Just breaking a mirror in some musty shrine wouldn't change the fate of our meeting, and that would never cause any curse. I remembered cheering her up, saying it was only a musty mirror covered in dust. Oh, but this means she told him about it. Good girl.
ベアトリーチェ様という霊のような存在がいるという話は、この島に勤めるようになってからたくさんの同僚に聞かされました。最初はバカバカしいと思っていましたが、それを批判するとなんだか不謹慎そうな空気があったもので、私も表向きは信じているように振る舞っていきました。しかしまさか本当に。
いたんです。ベアトリーチェ様はずっとこのお屋敷におられたんです。でもベアトリーチェ様は力を失っておられて、私たちの前に姿を現すことができなかったんです。ずっといた。私たちが見えなかっただけなんです。
源氏さんの意見を聞きたいです。
私には何も意見はありません。
He's just furniture, I know.
一つだけ申し上げたいのは、私たちはあの時ここに5人いた。そしてカノンが勝手口から帰ってきたと思った。そして使用人室に運び、何かが起こって南條先生と熊沢が帰らぬ人となってしまった。それだけです。私たちは見たものをすでに全て説明しました。それを見ていないジョージ様に信じろというのはとても無理な話だと。
信じられるわけがない。あれは間違いなくカノンさんだと思った。でもあいつがベッドから起き上がって、そう、こいつはカノンさんじゃない、誰か別の存在なんだと直感しました。ジョージ様にはわからないでしょう。よく知っていると思っていた人物が実は別人であることをさらけ出した瞬間の恐ろしさというものは説明できない。とても説明できるわけがない。
わかるよ。郷田さんがそれほどまでにショックを受けるどんな恐ろしいことがあったのか。
ありがとうございます、ジョージ様。
And they all went silent again. No matter how many times she was consoled, Shannon kept on crying, weeping, that listening to the witch's sweet whispers and breaking the spirit mirror on that day had been where this had all gone wrong.
君に囁いたという魔女は、その鏡があると力を失うんだね。
少し説明してくれた気がしますが、よく覚えていません。あの鏡があると力が出せないというようなことを言っていたと思います。
Forks. Something about eating soup with a fork instead of a spoon.
君が割ったというその鏡はどうしたの？
覚えていません。多分割ったまま立ち去りましたから、そのままそこに残ってたでしょう。
ということは、岩礁が雷で撃たれて消えたとかいう時に海の底か。まあ拾って接着剤で貼り付けたところでご利益は戻らないだろうけどね。
私は本当になんてことを。
ごめん、失言したよ。
He didn't know whether Shannon breaking the mirror had really been what had started everything off. The servants didn't go so far as to blame Shannon, but it seemed that they believed it had been the trigger. But even now, there was no way George could believe that much. Even if he was told a story about witches and evil spirits, it just sounded fake to him. Even so, he listened seriously to Shannon's story, trying to find a hint that might relieve at least a little of the pain in her heart.
そういえば、その鳥居にあったものとは違うでしょうが、奥様がお守りとして霊鏡をお持ちになっていると聞いたことがあります。
夏日おばさんが？
はい。おじい様の形見分けか何かでもらったものだそうで、とても強い魔除けの力を持つ由緒正しい霊鏡だとかなんとか。
同じ話は私も聞いたことがある。鏡は良くないものを反射して弾き返す力があるのだとか。
その霊鏡があれば魔女のベアトリーチェに対抗できるかな。
When George proposed this, the servants looked up.
祀っていた鳥居と祠はもうないかもしれないけれど、霊鏡がもう一枚あるのは重要なことだよ。夏日おばさんの実家は神職にも通じていると聞いたことがある。
Oh.
それは本当に単なる鏡ではないかもしれない。
確か奥様は宝物箱に入れて大事にしまっている。そんなに大きいものではないのかもしれません。
大きさの問題ではなかったと思います。私が割った鏡も一見大したことのない小さな鏡に見えました。
相手がオカルトならこちらもオカルトの手段で対抗するしかない。ただこうして座っていても何も解決しない。単なる気休めだとしてもやってみる価値はあるよ。
Of course, this didn't mean that George had accepted the witch. However, he thought it would be necessary to have some kind of purification ceremony to heal the wounds in Shannon's heart. So this story about Natsuhi's spirit mirror was just what the doctor ordered.
行こう。魔女をやっつけようなんて大それたことは言わないよ。でも魔女から身を守る魔除けがあってもいいと思う。前にマリアちゃんに聞いたんだけど、おじい様の部屋の扉は強力な魔除けが施されているんでしょ。さすがおじい様だね。オカルトに対する防御も十分だったわけだ。行こう。夏日おばさんの部屋へ。
しかし奥様の部屋には鍵がかかっていると思います。真っ先はローザ様にお返ししてしまいましたし、キーボックスのある使用人室も施錠されてしまいましたし。
ならばその鍵は夏日おばさんが持ち歩いているはず。礼拝堂にはまだ夏日おばさんの遺体があるはず
Yeah,
だ。
that's what I was afraid that he was gonna. I was actually thinking it before he said, "Oh no, he's gonna say, let's go get it off the dead freaking body at the Halloween party with the candy spilling out." Yeah, great,
警
great.
察が来る前に勝手にいじってしまうのは悪いことだけれど、それについてはちゃんと説明しよ
しかし礼拝堂の入り口も鍵がかけられております。
う。ゴーダさんの腕力じゃガラス1枚割れないのかい。その辺の石で叩き割ればいい。
大切な礼拝堂の窓を破ってしまっても、よろしい。
おじい様に怒られるときは僕が責任を持つよ。僕はもともと今日後宮家の全員と戦うつもりでいた。君との婚約を許してもらうためにね。
Yeah, but that's a totally different kind of fight, isn't it? Like,
だから元よりその覚悟はある。ガラスを割ろう。そして夏日おばさんの遺体から鍵を借りよう。
it seemed that George's claim that he would take responsibility had given the servants a great amount of courage. Shannon and Goda glanced at each other and then looked at George's face again.
オカルトに詳しいおじい様だもの。 夏日おばさんの霊境の力だってきっと理解してくれる。大丈夫。怒られたりなんかしない。
奥様の鏡で本当にベアトリーチェ様をもう一度封じることができるでしょうか。
わからない。でも試す価値はあると思う。なら行こう。表はどんどん暗くなっちゃうよ。急ごう。シャノンは懐中電灯を、ゴーダさんはガラスを割れそうな道具を、ゲンジさんはすみません、傘の用意をお願いします。
はい。
I mean, I do like that at least they're not sitting there like, you know, ducks waiting to be slaughtered. You know? They're doing something, even if it's maybe a placebo thing. At least they're doing something. The servants who had been rejected by Rosa started to move once again, having gained a new master. George, who was normally calm and gentle, was now exuding a commanding presence. Shannon checked the emergency flashlight. Just in case, she changed the batteries. Goda was examining several heavy-looking cooking tools. Normally, a self-respecting chef like himself wouldn't want to use them for anything other than their intended purpose. But now he was frantic to fulfill the orders of the one he accepted as his master. After some deliberation, he took a large, weighty frying pan. Genji removed several umbrellas from the umbrella stand set in the corner near the back door of the kitchen. He took 3 of them.
ゲンジさん、
私はご一緒できません。ご用命の時に全員がいないようなことがあっては、後ろ宮家使用人頭として恥ずかしいことです。
そんな源氏さん、今のこの屋敷で一人でいることがどれだけ危険かあなたもわかるでしょ
う。私はいけぬ。親方様からいつお呼び出しがあってもいいように。
源氏様、
言ってジョージ様にお仕えするよう、くれぐれも粗相のないように。
Yeah, split up even more. Oh man. Goda got promoted from pawn to rook. He's alright. He's having some good moments in this episode. I will accept that.
はい、お任せください。
必ずやお役目を果たします。
本当にいいんですね、ゲンジさん。
はい、私はもうこの年です。今日までの人生はすべて親方様に受けたご恩をお返しするための日々でした。このような老いぼれがどうなろうと、すべてはルーレットの召しだ。私はどのような結果が出るのかをここに座って見届けたいと思います。
As Genji said that, he sat down, as though saying that he didn't intend to discuss this anymore. His gaze fell to the chessboard that he had played on with Nanja. When George saw this, he decided to leave Genji there.
行こう、みんな。今は少し風もおとなしいみたいだ。
George took an umbrella and dashed out into the hallway, and Shannon and Goda chased after him, each holding a tool. After they flew out of the room, Genji quietly extended his hand to the side of the chessboard. He softly pulled something that was there towards himself and hid it by covering it with his palm. Genji killed his breathing even more than before. As he did, something flashed gold. Goda beating the shit out of Beatrice with a frying pan soon. From inside an ice pail set on the counter, a small gold butterfly appeared softly and silently. It was almost as though it had watched George and the rest leave and was trying to secretly follow them. It happened in an instant. The gold butterfly, elegantly flapping its wings, was pinned against the wall by the knife Genji had thrown, just like a butterfly in a bug collection. After the gold butterfly beat its wings several times, looking like it was in pain, it accepted the fact that it couldn't break free, became fine gold powder and smoke, and disappeared as though dissolving into water. Genji's gaze was still lowered at the chessboard as though nothing had happened. Maybe he would think up a brilliant move very soon. But no matter what move he made, his opponent would not be able to respond for all eternity. Even though he knew that Genji searched for a brilliant move. It must have been the perfect way to kill time during the short period before some fate would be given to him. He didn't know what result the roulette would bring about, but that decision would be made very soon. No one could interfere with the tumbling roulette ball. Oh man. Trust. Right, since the scene switched, I will kindly ask you to be patient for a couple of minutes while I have a short toilet break. I've been drinking a lot of liquid these days. The summer is killing me, so yeah, I need it. I usually try not to, but yeah, sometimes I will. Right, there we are. The door to the parlor was not only locked, but blocked with a barricade made of sofas and the like. So Auntie Rosa seemed to suspect that if a suspicious person appeared, it would be by breaking the window. Thank you. Happy to be back. Sitting on a one-person sofa, her back to the door, she continued to hold on to her gun. I didn't know what was what anymore, and so my body and mind worn out, I was just playing with Maria however she wanted. In Maria's words, Beatrice was testing us to see whether we could solve the epitaph of the gold, so we had to challenge this riddle. In the beginning, I had been a little interested and had tried to solve it, but I didn't have a clue what those weird paragraphs even meant in the first place. I didn't doubt that there was some riddle hidden there, but I couldn't imagine what I would solve. That I would solve it by chance. In the middle part of the epitaph, there were lines saying to journey to the Golden Land over the course of the 1st to the 10th twilight. On the 1st twilight, sacrifice the 6 chosen by the key. On the 2nd twilight, those who remain shall tear apart the 2 who are close. It was obvious that this hinted at the first 6 murders that had already occurred in the chapel, and Jessica and Kanunkan's murders. If this was being followed, we would have to be prepared for yet 5 more people to be killed. On the 4th twilight, gouge the head and kill. On the 5th twilight, gouge the chest and kill. On the 6th twilight, gouge the stomach and kill. On the 7th twilight, gouge the knee and kill. On the 8th twilight, gouge the leg and kill. The bodies of Dr. Nanjo and Kumasawa Bachan hadn't been found. However, if we reasonably assumed that they were the sacrifices of the 4th and 5th twilights, they would surely be found in a pitiful state with their head and chest gouged. In which case, could we expect that 3 more would be gouged in the stomach, knee, and leg and be killed? Who would that be? I looked around the room, noticing that there were 3 people here, but how should I say it? My emotions seemed paralyzed. Strangely, I didn't find it terrifying. Maria noticed me with my upper body entrusted to the sofa, gazing lazily up at the ceiling. Apparently she felt I was slacking off in my riddle solving. Whoops. She got mad at me and told me I wasn't being serious enough.
なあ、マリア。ベアトリーチェは確か、これを解いたらどうするって言ってたんだっけ?
I was sure that the witch had written in her letter that she would give up on collecting the interest or something abstract like that. I was optimistically taking that to mean that she would give up on killing the whole family, but was it really written with that meaning? I didn't really feel that solving this riddle will actually save us. I thought that even if we did solve it, that would be doing just what the culprit wanted us to do, and it would be all a wasted effort.
そんなことはない。この碑文が解けたら、ベアとの儀式はおしまいになる。だからもうそれ以上、誰も死ななくなる。
本当にか? そういうルールを奴が提示してるだけだろ。この謎を解けば。多分、じい様の隠し黄金のありかがわかるんだろ。奴は、きっとそれを狙って。
狙わないよ。
なんでそう断言できるんだよ。
黄金は最初からベアとのものだもん。自分のものを狙ったりなんかしない。
じゃあ、どうしてベアとは俺たちにこんな大ヒントを授けてくれたんだ？というか、どうしてこんなゲームじみたことを仕掛けてきたんだ？
Now, I do like these questions because they contain a why, finally.
魔法にはリスクが必要なの。
リスク？よく意味がわかんねえな。
例えばマラソン。完走すれば誰でももらえるメダルと、一番になった人しかもらえないメダルって同じ価値だと思う？
思わねえぜ。つまりなんだよ。結局、奴は遊んでるってことなのか？わざとこっちにチャンスを与えるようなことをして。
違うそれがね、魔法というものなの。ど どんな大きな魔法にも絶対にリスクや弱点があるの。ないといけないの。
魔法って言われるとピンとこねえが、ギャンブルだって考えれば少しは理解できるな。でかく失う覚悟がなきゃ、でかくは勝てない。そして、勝ち目の薄いギャンブルであればあるほど、配当はでかくなる。
その通りだよ。だからベアとは儀式のリスクをちゃんとみんなに説明したの。だからこの謎を解けばちゃんと儀式は中断される。だってそれを約束違反したらリスクにならない。
これを解けば、奴は本当に約束を守るのか？
花は枯れるのにどうして美しいの？造花は見分けがつかないほど精巧でもどうして美しくないの？人間は死を賭すから奇跡が起こせる。不死の人間がいたとして、その人物に何の奇跡も起こせる道理はない。私たちも人生も魔女も儀式も、私たちはリスクを負わなければ何も成し遂げられないの。
謎が解けたらどうするんだ？ピンポーンって鳴らして挙手して、回答を魔女に伝えて答え合わせをするのか？
それは知らない。でも解けばきっと自動的に儀式は終わる。
マリアは詳しいな。そいつはみんなベアトリーチェに習ったのか？
So, if you don't bear a risk, nothing can be gained. That is doubtlessly the way of the world, but it was in conflict with the chessboard theory style of thinking that I liked. A move in chess is always a search for the best play that minimizes the risk and promises an advantageous turn of events. You don't trust your plays to chance like in gambling. That's right. There's no room for gambling in an intellectual game. And yet, this person called Beatrice was carrying out such an outrageous crime, or maybe a ritual, while purposefully imposing conditions for her own loss and announcing them to us. In chess, you always play the best move. So by standing in your opponent's position, you can predict their next move. However, you couldn't say for sure that Beatrice's moves were always the best moves. I thought she was probably making us focus on the epitaph as a smokescreen to mislead us about something. But Maria said that, of all things, was impossible. She said that this was a genuine risk that the witch had taken, and therefore proof that this was a formal magical ritual. I can't understand this witch called Beatrice. She must be committing this chain of murders with some goal in mind. So why would she deliberately expose the conditions for her own defeat? No matter how I flip over the chessboard and think from my opponent's perspective, I can't understand why she would give up. Why she would give up if this riddle was solved. Isn't it almost as though Beatrice doesn't care whether she wins or loses? It's natural that chessboard reasoning wouldn't work if you played chess against an opponent like this. Maria is the best, I want to pet. Aww. I don't understand. What is Beatrice after that's making her commit this crime? If she just wants to massacre us all, she could just do it secretly without this whole crazy setup. There was no need for that scrupulous advance notice, dramatic suggestions of locked rooms, or anything. It's all over-dramatized. Actually, one thing that I think maybe I didn't mention last time because it was like all the stuff was happening and then I didn't have the chance to mention it today, but since we're here and it's coming back to my mind, why is it that fake canon was trying to point a finger at Rosa? Isn't the whole point of this to try to prove that Beatrice exists and she committed all of these with magic? So why was it that whatever possessed Canon's body, which I could only assume is in cahoots with Beatrice, would then try to confuse everyone by blaming a human. Unless whatever possessed him wasn't in cahoots with Beatrice. But then I don't know. It's a why question that I don't know the answer to. It kind of doesn't fall in line with everything else that I thought we were seeing, so I'm kind of, what is it? Anyway, it's all over dramatized. I don't get the point at all. As long as I continue to think of Beatrice as a greedy human culprit, will I be unable to understand anything? If I don't accept her as a witch, will I be unable to even set the pieces on the chessboard at all? If she really is a witch and everything Maria has said is true, then there's only one thing we should have been doing. We shouldn't have bothered with any of the reasoning or the discord or the searching for the culprit. We should have all gathered in the dining hall and pooled our knowledge to solve the riddle. If we had pooled the knowledge of that many people, maybe we would have been able to at least grasp a thread of the answer. We greedy humans, desiring to gain something more than one another, never pooled our knowledge and were being offered up as sacrifices one by one. Reading this anew feels like cheating. I'm close to the finale of episode 6. Notes, notes, notes everywhere. Okay. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. I have kind of come to terms with being hopeless and helpless and not knowing anything or how to make sense of it. But when I'm told, oh, there was all of this foreshadowing and all of the information and whatever, I'm like, But I don't know how to put it together. It's like all scattered everywhere. I don't know. In the end, were we humans getting what we deserved? We thought we were thinking, but we were actually thinking only of our greedy selves. In the end, chessboard theory is a technique of thinking where you project yourself on your opponent. So greedy people look inside their opponents and see their greedy selves. That's an interesting observation. I look vaguely at Auntie Rosa. She was probably tired from being under all of this tension the whole time. I still don't have a clue, I guess. I mean, I guess it is reassuring in some sense. She wasn't sleeping, but she was continually staring vaguely at some point off in space. Auntie Rosa had proclaimed that she couldn't trust anyone who had not been killed. Auntie Rosa's chessboard thinking saw herself inside her opponent. I mean, she also... I mean, it's probably not stated directly. She couldn't trust anyone who had not been killed. Well, her child had not been killed. George and Battler were not killed. They had not been killed. But she believes in them and she's protecting them because they're children and she took on this motherly role. But then what she's proclaiming is not really true. Because then she would have to only and strictly believe in her own self, which is not what she's doing. So, yeah. In other words, Auntie Rosa might be an isolated woman, unable to trust anyone and unable to let her guard down. Long ago, I think I heard a bit about it from my dad. Auntie Rosa had originally been a very obedient child. Because her age was so far separated from her other siblings, and because her confrontational siblings had often made conflicting demands of her, she had been going through psychological hardship ever since she was young. Apparently, when she had taken the side of one sibling, often another gave her a hard time for it. Certainly, Auntie Rosa had said many things today that could be taken as abusive language. But those were words that had been engraved into her vocabulary because they had been showered upon her as well. The many abusive words that she had spoken were also the same abuse that Auntie Rosa had been showered with in the past. Now that I think about it, I have the feeling that her style of speech today has had occasional traces of Uncle Kraus and Auntie Eva in it. I'd just assumed the similarity came from being siblings, but maybe that wasn't the case. For the first time, I was able to sympathize from my heart with Auntie Rosa, who I had come to think of as being only gentle. Then what about Maria? Maria had been claiming something for a while. If we could solve the riddle that the witch had presented to us, the ritual would be halted and we would definitely be saved. And I think she also said that Beatrice would never break a promise she made. So that describes Maria herself. She's the one with the most innocent heart who would never break a promise. So she believed that Beatrice wouldn't break a promise either. She could believe that. But wasn't that just an image of Beatrice that Maria imagined? There's no proof that the real Beatrice definitely keeps her promises, right?
わらわは約束は守る。碑文の謎を解けば、黄金鏡へ至ることができるだろう。
Again, the part in red is the part that's the most prone to personal interpretations. What does it mean that you keep your promises? That's a spicy red truth. Ugh.
さすれば、儀式は終わる。
Yeah, all of that is in white, so...
それ以上誰も死にはせぬ。
お前みたいな外道の極みが、ルールを遵守するってのかよ。
わらわが、残忍で卑劣で外道であることを否定はせぬ。
At least she's self-aware.
だが、わらわは魔女だ。魔法を使う。魔法を使うには、守らねばならぬルールがある。わらわは魔女だからこそ、それをないがしろにできぬのだ。それだけは信じるがよい。
これだけめちゃくちゃやってきて、それでもルールだけは信じろってのかよ。
わらわはたぶらかしはする。もちろん人も騙す。人間と変わらぬ。だが、約束として口にしたことを保護にしたことは一度もない。人間はどうか、約束を。必ず守るのか？
約束を守ろう。なんてキャッチフレーズがある以上、ちゃんと履行されてるかどうかは疑わしいな。
わらわから見れば、人間の方がよっぽど利己的で外道な存在よ。人間の約束ほど疑わしいものはない。わらわも時に人間と契約するが、くだらない願い一つ叶えるのに、どれほど厳重に取り決めをするか想像もつくまい。少しでも隙があると、連中はすぐに、叶える願いの数を100に増やせとか、小さな豆粒に変身してみろとか言い出す。
親父によく言われたぜ。契約書ほど怖えもんはねえって。よく読まずにハンコを押すやつは、骨の髄までしゃぶられて当然だって悪徳で荒稼ぎしてやがったんだな。
察しろ。人は生まれながらに詐欺を知りはせぬ。どこかで被った。だから覚えた。押し付け合わずにはいられぬ人の世の罪。はて、どこの魔女に聞いたやら。まあいい。そなたが思っているほど、わらわも無慈悲ではないぞ。
嘘をつけ。これだけの大勢を。しかもまた、こんな残酷な方法で殺しておいて、何が無慈悲ではないだ。約束は守るだと？いい加減なことを言うな。俺はお前を認めない。断じて。それを譲らないことだけが、お前への抵抗だと俺は信じてる。
なるほど。永遠の苛波であるのは、わらわに対しても同じであるというわけか。かもしれぬな。1000年は長い。魔女の強さは、魔力より我慢強さで決まるのかもしれんな。 なるほど。ベルン教の恐ろしさもうなずける。
何をわけのわかんねえ話をブツブツ言ってやがる。さっさと永遠の苛波とやらを続けろよ。俺は1000年でも1万年でも付き合う覚悟だぜ。
よいよい。少しは戦う気力も戻ってきたようだな。そうでなければつまらない。ほら、対戦ゲームでもよくあるだろう。乱入したけど、相手があまりに弱くて拍子抜けで、わざと負けて最終ラウンドまで延長させて、最後に本気でフルボッコにすることとかって、あるだろう。
例えの意味がわかんねえよ。
ワインと同じよ。よく熟成させねば輝かぬ。お前は、それに耐えられるワインだ。わらわがじっくり熟成させてやる。そなたを、わらわの優雅な時間を彩る最高の美酒に育て上げてやるぞ。だから、この程度で屈服などするな。わらわを引き続き否定してくれよ。何しろわらわは、そなたが認めぬ限り、儚き幻想に過ぎぬのだから。
何度見ても辛いな。
教中、お察しします。シャノンさん、鍵を頼みます。お亡くなりになられたとはいえ、奥様はレディーです。私には触れることができません。
はい。
Shannon nodded sharply, her expression filled with a sense of duty. George, Goda, and Shannon had broken a suitable window and were inside the chapel. Since they really hadn't wanted to break one, they had searched for another way in, just in case. But in the end, that only proved once again that there was nowhere that anyone could slip in through, and emphasized further how inscrutable was the chapel's locked room. Inside the chapel, time had stopped since they had left it earlier. Of course, even George could not approach that horrible Halloween party again. It was only natural, because it made him remember again the sadness of losing both of his parents at once. And Goda, thinking of the possibility that their bodies might have changed in some horrible way now that half of a day had passed, didn't want to let George approach. Shannon followed Goda's instructions and approached the party table. I don't know, just I feel like half of the reason he asked Shannon is because he also didn't want to do it. So it was easy now to get off with the excuse. Oh, Madam is a lady. Only a lady should touch her. But I mean, Nanjo had been the one to take the key out of Jessica's shirt or coat or wherever she had it, right? Is it okay because Nanjo's a doctor? I don't know. Feels like a flimsy argument, but anyway, it's fine. Normally Sharon might have resented having another dirty job forced on her, there it is. But now she could truly understand Goda's mental state. Despite Goda's prodigious skill, he had gotten into trouble, lost his job, and been left out in the streets, and then Natsuhi gave him a new life. Even though it had just been a casual employment for Natsuhi, Goda must have felt like it was a turning point in his fate. Those around Goda could see that he felt a special kind of loyalty to Natsuhi. So he probably didn't want to lose that feeling even though she was dead. Now that half a day had passed, the bodies of Natsuhi and the rest had changed completely. I really don't need these details. They changed, right? It's the usual things that happen when a body is dead. Yeah, okay, can we... God, no, I don't... I'm not gonna read this, okay? You can read it, it's on the screen. It really wasn't something you could look at directly.
奥様、 失礼いたします。
Because of her long experience as a servant, Shannon had an idea of which pocket Natsuki had kept the key to her room in. Probably in this pocket. Her guess didn't fail her. Just by touching the outside of the pocket, she was immediately able to feel it.
ありました。奥様の部屋の鍵です。
Shannon held the key up high, showing the others that it had been found. As George and Goda watched her, their eyes opened wide. That wasn't the expression Shannon was expecting, so it startled her. Because Shannon hadn't noticed. George and Goda, watching from afar, had been able to notice it first. Because when Shannon had held the key up high, a blizzard of gold leaf had billowed up from around the table. They were countless gold butterflies. Oh my god, what's happening? Because it was the first time George had seen them, to him, they might have looked fantastical. But Goda already knew. He knew that those gold butterflies, far from being beautiful, held sway over something disastrous. And that gold swelled, trying to suck Shannon in.
シャノンさん走って
Shannon also realized that she was about to be swallowed up by gold butterflies. She ran unsteadily, her expression still shocked. As she did, the gold butterflies danced around Shannon in unison. They grouped together. They tried to swallow her up.
シャノン！くそ、なんだこれは。これが君たちの言っていた黄金の蝶なのか。
早く外へこいつらめくそくそ
George and Goda rushed up to Shannon, driving off the group of butterflies. And while the butterflies were scattered, they ran towards the broken window. However, they needed good footing to get out of the window, which was surrounded with shards of broken glass. When they had entered, there had been enough time to prepare for that, but now there was none.
扉から出よう。足場を探してる時間なんかない。
開かない。硬い。
貸して。くそ、このオンボロが。
ジョージ様お早くくそなめるなうごー
Goda took off his jacket, swinging it around and scattering the group of butterflies. But he was vastly outnumbered. It was doubtful that it even bought them a short amount of time. George struggled with the virtually broken handle. Its age showed, and it didn't turn well. Brute force alone won't do it. It needs the right angle or some trick.
ジョージ様くそーこの化け物どもが
Just then Goda saw it. He was seen by it. In other words, their eyes met. On top of the party table, no, floating above it, backed by a stained glass window, laughing, the figure of the witch. He saw the figure of the witch laughing in the center of the golden whirlwind, allowing the gold butterflies to attend to her whims.
ベアトリーチェ
It should have been Goda's first meeting with her, but he knew her at a glance. Just like the other servants had said, this was certainly the witch of the portrait herself.
そろそろ晩餐の時間ではないか。すでにわらわはこの屋敷のホストである。そなたらを素晴らしきディナーで歓待しなくてはならぬというもの。おあつらえ向きに3人ではないか。これは実に好都合。
うわ
あ、開いた。
ゴーダさん早く。ベアトリーチェ様。
あ、
足を止めてもよいのか。ここがそなたらの墓場にふさわしいというならそれもよかろうぞ。かつての主の傍らにて死後も仕えたいというその心意気はたたえようぞ。
The golden whirlwind enshrouding the witch burst. It was like an evil hand had literally spread its fingers and was trying to attack them. The group of gold butterflies attacked with a whoosh sound.
急ぐんだ！足を止めちゃいけない！
George's voice brought Shannon and Goda back to themselves. Standing here now would be the same as a frog being stared down by a snake. They had to resist. They had to fight this incarnation of the new, brutal and frightening order that had enveloped Rokkenjima. There was no time to take out their umbrellas. The three of them dashed out into the pouring rain. Everyone was vibing to the music. They never realized because they didn't turn around, but the gold butterflies apparently couldn't handle the rain too well, and this hampered their ability to chase after the three. The three people ran from their golden pursuers and flew into the mansion. Yukai!
こうでなくては面白くない。
They unlocked the door and flew into the room. A bit of the scent from Natsuhi's favorite gentle incense remained in the room. However, there was no time to let that calm them now.
どこにあるんだ？宝物箱の中って言ったっけ？
話に聞いただけです。実際にどこにあるかまでは。
多分お化粧台かベッドの脇にあるんじゃないかと思います。
Shannon claimed that because of her woman's sense. But in the corner by the bed there was only an incense burner, a half-read novel, and a pair of glasses. But the dresser was elegant and had many drawers, and it would be understandable if she had kept some of her valuables there.
夏日おばさん、ごめん。
He began to violently open each one of the drawers. He had to hurry. He couldn't actually hear footsteps, but he had the feeling that the witch was approaching. He had the feeling that her laugh was approaching. He pulled out the drawers one by one and examined their contents. Every small box for makeup looked like a treasure box, and the amount of effort it would take to inspect all of them made him feel a little dizzy.
この箱かもしれません。鍵がかかってて開きません。
At a glance, it looked slightly larger than a music box. When shaken, it rustled, as though various small objects were inside. But it was locked and wouldn't open.
普通鍵はすぐ近くに隠しておくものです。あるいは常に身につけている人もいるかも。わからない。
やむを得ない。壊そう。でも乱暴にはできないね。中の鏡を割ってしまうかもしれない。こじ開ける道具はないから。
Goda looked all over the room trying to see if there was some tool that they could use, and he noticed the door, which had been left open ever since they had entered. He approached the door to close it and noticed the abominable shadows of people approaching from beyond the darkness in the hall. No, the phrase shadows of people wasn't right, because that referred to human shadows. You can't call the shadows of beings that aren't human shadows of people.
ジョージ様、急い。
Goda's voice trailed off. It was the shock from seeing a procession of those not of this world. He was a servant, so he knew all of the servants that worked for the Ushiromiya family. But he didn't know about these. However, they were definitely servants. They weren't servants working for Ushiromiya Kinzo or Ushiromiya Kraus. They were new servants who worked for the new master of the mansion, the Golden Witch Bad Teacher. And who had goats' heads and bright red boiled eyes of lava. As the new master laughed loudly and trimly directed 6 of the new servants, he saw her pierce the darkness as she came. Of course, she was clad in the gold butterflies that were her symbol. Goda hurriedly closed the door and locked it. However, the instant He locked it. It returned to normal, as though it had been locked back by a spring or something. It had been knocked back, sorry, by a spring or something. It almost gave the illusion that some prankster on the other side of the door was opening it every time he closed it. Distance-wise, they shouldn't have reached the other side of the door yet. Then who? It felt just like playing with a broken toy. Click, boing, click, boing.
閉まらない。閉めても開いてしまう。どうなってんだこりゃ。クソクソクソクソ。
鍵がわらわを拒むと思うか。その部屋の新しき主をその部屋の扉が拒むと思うのか。
It was like the witch could see Goda's frantic efforts through the door. Even as he struggled, their footsteps continued to approach. And when not just footsteps, but their breaths too could be heard, Goda gave up on the lock and rammed the door with his shoulder, making the lock his own large body.
ジョージ様、早く早く早く。
ジョージ様、これはどうでしょう。
レターオープナーか。そっちの方がいいね。貸して。万年筆じゃうまくいかない。
George took it and once again dug into the crack under the lid of the treasure box. It looks like it's working.
早く早く。
The pressure from across the door grew even stronger. Goda screamed. It wasn't a war cry for this test of strength. He was terrified. He was simply terrified that except for a single wooden door, he would be touching something not of this world. But he was still lucky. He wasn't touching them directly, because they were on the other side of the door. So it's natural that if he did touch them directly, Goda's cry would turn from something brave into a shameful and yet very real scream that would make glass shatter. Goda couldn't believe what was right before his eyes. Going through the door, an arm, almost as though it was sticking through the surface of water, slipped through as though it was perfectly natural and stroked the back of Goda's hand as he tried desperately to hold the door closed. Oh, it's okay, it was a really small thing, don't worry, Chidrin. It traced slowly up his arm to his chest and then his chin. By now, Goda's scream was not even vocalized. He could hear a sweet whispering voice from across the door. It wasn't coming from the witch, but judging by the sound of the voice, it was a young woman. But there was no difference in the fact that it was a voice from one not of this world.
かわいい。ねえ、見てるの相馬と。教えてね。終わったら。ありがとう。もう終わってるのね。
That obscene arm burst apart, and they heard the sound of something jumping around the room at an incredible speed. They didn't know what it was. Incredibly fast, small, like steel or maybe a beetle. When it buried itself right in the center of Goda's chest and stopped, for the first time they realized that its true form was something like a stake with a strange design on it. Goda's large body shook, bent backwards, and fell over. As it did, the door opened softly, even though no one was pushing it, and the new masters of this room were welcomed in. It looked almost as though the door itself had accepted them. The goat attendants entered one after another, 6 of them. Then that witch entered and the gold butterflies entered. The room was wrapped in a blizzard of gold leaf, which fell and piled up, turning it into a world of gold.
シャノン、ルーレットはそなたとジョージを選んだ。解放の日に感謝せよ。未練はあるまい？ないよな。惚れた男から婚約指輪をもらって夜も共にしないうちに殺されてしまっても未練なんかないよな。女の幸せを教えてもらいたかったんだろう。ああ、シャーノン、ダメダメ、垂れてるぜ。お前の口元から未練がだらだら垂れてんのが見えるぜ、シャーノン。
Get it. Crack. It was the sound of the lid to the treasure box breaking and opening. When George turned it over, out fell accessories, charms, various small objects that Natsuki had treasured when she was a girl. Mixed in with those was a pouch that stood out from the rest. He picked it up and checked it immediately. This was it.
見つけた。これだ。
いいって及ばなかったの。死ね！
くそ！
At once, the gold butterflies attacked George, who was painfully slowly trying to remove the contents of the pouch. I don't know what that means. Just then, it seemed like for just an instant, a bright red flash lit up the room. That red flash seemed to wipe out the gold butterflies that were raging around the room, within a circle drawn with Shannon at the center. Therefore, it was a very divine scene, almost as though a single streak of light had cut through the clouds in the ceiling, in this world of gold. George, who was curled in a ball trying to protect himself from the group of butterflies, didn't have a clue what had occurred. Then he noticed that Shannon was blocking the way to him, shielding him, with a serious face that she had never shown him before, as she glared at the witch and the rest. Okay.
忘れていた。
This is very cool. What is this? Wait, I missed something. Goda earned a lot of points for me with the scene. I gotta give it to him. There were a lot of layers of him that were revealed in this version of the story that were actually quite good and solid, and I appreciate him for it. I still do not like the way he normally treats the other servants, though, making them do his job. That part I do not like, but I will set that aside for someone who, in extreme situations, pulls out of themselves good things and makes good decisions and has good attitudes in moments when it matters most. So, alright, cool of him. Sailor Shannon to the rescue. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but this looks very cool. Okay, let's see.
そなたもまた金蔵の優れた家具だったな。それもカノンよりだいぶ熟成した。
カノン君をよくも殺したことじゃない。よくも亡骸を消し去り、その名誉まで汚そうとしたな。
おやおや、シャーノン、それを怒ってるのか？カノンに会えなくて寂しいならわらわに頼めよ。いつだって会わせてやるというのに。
When the witch snapped her fingers, one of the 6 goat attendants glittered gold and changed into Kanon. It was definitely a sight to make one doubt their eyes. It was definitely Kanon's face. However, in those eyes, there was none of that sincere glint of Kanon's. They were only the clouded eyes of furniture that did nothing but obey the orders of the witch. George couldn't understand the scene right before his eyes, and he finally understood why Goda and the rest had been unable to talk about what they had seen in the servant room.
楽しいですか？
ああ、楽しいぞ。死が引き裂いた二人を再会させるのはいつだって楽しい。
Hey, Ivan. Next, after reading the whole Umineko novel, God, I my five hands down. No! I don't think it will go that way. But I mean, that's alright, because characters are flawed, as all of us humans are flawed, and I can point out their flaws and not like them when the flaws is all that they express, but also I can set that aside and appreciate when they do or say things that are worthy of appreciation. So, there you go. Because it makes them human, yeah. Yeah, it's totally fine. I think this is one thing that the novel has done really well with all of the characters, is shown the humanity in them. Oh, hey, wow, so many first-time chatters. This is the first thing that I read, and I do it at the recommendation of Bea here in chat and other like-minded people who really, really love this novel and recommend it to me. I don't know anything else about Higurashi or any of his works. So this is the excerpt that I know so far. Everything that we have done up to this point in episode 2.
死で引き裂いて一度、合わせて二度、もう一度引き裂いて三度楽しめるのだからな。さあ、カノン、姉と遊んでやりなさい。もし痛めつけられたら、思いっきり苦悶の表情を浮かべてやるといい。
From the imposter Canon's arm, a strangely shining trail extended. It planned to tear Shannon apart with that. Oh man, it's very hard, you know, it's very hard to pick someone, but I have expressed a couple of streams ago and it hasn't changed that much, but I really, really like Canon so far. So far, being the keyword, which I don't know. Who knows? Maybe in the end something will be revealed about him that's gonna break my heart. And a kid, you're breaking my heart. Kind of moment. Who knows? I'm kind of bracing for anything, but so far I really like him. But I like parts that we have seen of other characters too. Like, it's very, very good. Very good. And this being one of the things that I'm most interested in anything that I read, like the characters and their motivations and their journey and their evolution. This is just an absolute treat for me to experience. I mean, I don't know what the comparison is between the two, but I'm doing this one, and we'll see. But I cannot predict the future. Canon for now, Goda later. Right, so from the imposter Canon's arm, a strangely shining trail extended. It planned to tear Shannon apart with that. Shannon, who still hadn't prepared her heart, apart with a single stroke.
許さない。一度ならず、二度までも死者を汚すなんて許せない。
ほざくな。弟に殺されろよ、シャノン。きっといい夢が見られるぜ。
As the imposter Canon drew several purple trails, he definitely had attacked Shannon. But when he flew at Shannon, it felt like some kind of invisible wall had been set up in front of her. A bright red ripple trail was left on the wall and it repelled the imposter. No, it didn't repel him, it smashed him. It knocked him back, turning him into golden dust into pieces, scattering him. The figure of the foolish furniture who had mocked Kanon's form and even disgraced his honor after his death broke into countless gold butterflies. And then those butterflies themselves broke into pieces, and those pieces were broken into pieces, until they were no longer butterflies but a spray of gold, and disappeared.
シャノン。
ジョージさんはそこから動かないでください。中心軸をずらしたくない。
I really don't know what I'm looking at, so I cannot answer this question. But I have this feeling that wasn't Shannon older than Kanon? Wasn't she at the mansion for longer? Maybe that played a part.
これは驚いた。虫一匹殺せない面をしてこれだけの力を見せたか。なるほど。霊境がそなたに力を貸しているというのか。しかしその霊境の本当の力を引き出すには準備も時間も足りないな。そのどちらもわらわは与えはせぬ。
The spirit mirror George gripped was letting out the divine radiance and displaying its strength not to submit to wicked power. But that radiance was no match for the witch's sinister nature.
これだから家具は怖い。予期せずしてタンスの角にぶつける足の小指のような気持ちよ。これだから家具は怖い。家具が。家具
私は家具じゃない。そして、あなたを今はとても哀れに思う。
何？ほう。1000年の魔女に100年も至らぬ家具が今何と言ったか。
あなたはとても哀れな人。愛し合う二人に未練がないわけがない。でも、あなたの期待するような未練はかけらほどもない。
語るか。家具の分際でジョージと結ばれたくてわらわの靴を舐めた日々を忘れてわらわにそれを語るか。
愛に生き泥濘を這うが人間。それを嘲笑い見下しているつもりであなたはそれにはるかに劣る。
You tell her, Shannon. You
私
tell
は
her.
今こそあなたを哀れに思う。愛し合う二人にとって添い遂げることにどれほどの意味が。意味はある。きっとある。でもそれはあなたの言うこととは全然違う。もっと新鮮にして、あなたごとき邪悪が口にする資格もないほどの新鮮な意味がある。
Yeah.
だから私にはすでに何の未練もない。
I cannot say anything in terms of the comparison between Umineko and Higurashi, so sorry. Like, I'm reading it, but I have no input, so I will let you guys talk about that. Great Shannon moment, yes, I am blown away.
庄司さんと愛を誓い合った。その証として指輪を受け取った。それで永遠の誓いは完了した。あなたがどんな邪悪な魔法や悪意で私たちを災難だとしても永遠は汚さない。
綺麗事を詩人のように語るな。愛は情欲なんだよ。少女漫画みたく綺麗事ばっかりで語れねえんだよ。男どもはお前の匂いに惹かれて群がるウジバエどもなんだよ。
No, they're not.
そんなこともその年でまだ理解できねえのかよ。
What kind of men have you had around you, Beatrice? Who broke your heart? That's not true. Higurashi has too much gore. Okay. I mean, I think that's probably why I also kind of expected Umineko to be more or less in the same lane, because I had heard stuff like that about Higurashi.
お前は失望するぜ。その後ろのメガネ男のどす黒い欲望、一度でも覗いちまったら。
What is really that bad to feel things for the person that you love? You feel that, you know, kind of fleshy kind of attraction and desire, but you also feel like it comes in tandem and is intertwined with the spiritual love. That's when they come together and make each other so much better and divine in a sense. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's not as you describe it. That makes me very sad.
がっかり愕然あぜん呆然全然ダメだぜショーノ
Oh no. Aw, Chidori, take care. See you next time if you can come around, and no worries.
ああ、もういいや、語るな家具が。この家具。
Becoming, I think she always is. Or at least from what we've seen of her in these scenes, she's always like that.
何様のつもりだよ、語りやがって。愛なんて結局はど汚ねえ汚物をどう綺麗に見せようかって欺瞞なんだよ。そいつに気づいて人は大人になるんだろう。死ねよクズ。家具スクラップ。お前を汚らわしいウジ虫に変えてやるよ。それでもそのメガネがお前を愛するか試してやるよ。そいつの愛のど汚ねえ現実ってやつを教えてやるよ。死ねよガラクタが。てめえが愛を語るんじゃねえ。
Alright, someone really went ahead and broke her heart. That's I'm concluding. One conclusive thing I'm saying so far. This is it. The invisible column of light with Shannon at the center started to have bright red ripples drawn all over it at once. The wall did its best to withstand the invisible malice that was trying to corrode it from all directions.
なんだよそれは。抵抗してるつもりかよ。
She was a bit nicer when she had tea with Shannon at the beach. Yeah, she was, but lately she's not been, like, for a few streams back to back, she's been in this mode, so yeah. She really does not like talking about it. No. She is trying to, like, tear it down with every fiber of her being, with everything that she has.
安っぽいんだよ。薄っぺらいんだよ。お前の綺麗事と同じなんだよ。見せかけだけの薄っぺら。見たくないものをベールで覆って隠してるだけなんだよ。まだわかんないのかよ。だから家具なんだよ。家具。
So tell me, Beatrice, let me get my notebook and my pen. I have one here. It's from work, but I can spare a page. Tell me. Who in your past made you feel this way? Since when have you been experiencing these feelings in your 1,000 years of existence? Because there's definitely something there. Oh man, the day is long gone.
ほら、削られてるぜ。カリカリコリコリガリガリゴリゴリなんて薄くて情けないんだよ。お前のその薄っぺらな抵抗に比べたら、パルミチャーノレッチアーノの方がまだ削るのに苦労がいるぜ。
Okay, that's it. You can do whatever you want, say whatever you want about whatever thing you want, but do not take it up with cheese, okay? This is where I draw the line. Leave cheese alone. Oh my god. The golden windstorm that covered the room gradually shaved away the walls of the column that protected Shannon and George. The bright red ripples frantically drew a pattern of resistance, but the wall was beginning to envelop the two, becoming instead a red wall of despair. No, it's fine.
庄司さん、ごめんなさい。やはり、私には無理でした。
ありがとう。君は僕のために戦ってくれた。それだけで嬉しいよ。
As the column that had once protected them was assaulted and covered with a trail of blood-curling red ripples, it contracted and began to suck the two of them up instead. Yeah. Shannon grasped George's hand behind her, so George hugged her shoulders just as strongly.
なんだい。
最後に、愛してるって聞かせてください。
Cheese! I vote cheese. Cheese is always good. You can do so many things with cheese. Takoyaki. Ooh, that's also a very good choice. Fuck. Oh, fuck me. No, no. Oh. I was holding out hope for the mirror to do a little bit of something, maybe, potentially, but no. It was blood and death and yeah. Ah, my heart. Yeah, we're back to Genji, but yeah, we are there at the end of the time frame for today, so I will save. We learned some interesting things. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna need some time to process them. Standing here, I realize. Title, yes. You're just like me trying to make history. Are these lines of a song? What are you saying? But who's to judge the right from wrong? Why does this sound so familiar? But I can't instantly recognize it. I... Ah. Aw, of course. Always a pleasure to share this with you guys. It has to be this way. What are you quoting there, Zeku? Thank you for the chats as well. Although I'm confused right now, but also... Aw, Bear likes the red. Alright. Seems I made a good choice. Okay, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Okay. It has to be this way. There we go. It fits everywhere. Okay. Maybe I definitely don't know the song. I don't know anything about Metal Gear Rising or whatever else. But maybe I encountered the meme somewhere in the past and something stayed into my mind, but very vague in a hidden drawer in the back of my mind that now cannot be reversed associated with the origin of the information. But anyway, yeah. All right. Just how much more is this episode gonna break my heart from now on, really? Don't worry. Don't worry, memes are fine too. They're actually great at this moment because my heart is broken. And also I can empathize with the lack of sleep too. So I feel you. I feel you. Totally. You too. Please go and rest well and take care of yourself. I would definitely do so as well. Oh, Bear, it's okay. You can share it if you want to. If you don't feel like it, that's also fine. Discord is there actually? Yeah. And mental note: before I go to bed, I upload the VOD, and I also fix the issue in the stream court bot. Ah, I think maybe this might be one of the things, because initially I was using a different bot, and then that one stopped working, and then I switched to StreamCord. But then I just copy pasted the text, and I probably didn't check if it was working the same way. All right, that's maybe what it was. Possibly. I love the way you two communicate. It's funny. Because I would be tempted to just say that it's a little bit passive aggressive, but at the same time, it seems it's a shared language. So as long as you are both on the same page as to what it means, it's all cool. All cool. Nice. All right. Is there much longer left of this one? Because God, I don't know in how many ways my heart can be broken anymore. Who else is left to be killed? I'm thinking how that would affect me. I think still, if we were to see it the way we saw this and the way we saw Jessica and Canon, I think it would still not, like, leave me with not a good feeling. So yeah, we'll see where we land. We'll pick this up next week as per usual, Tuesday and Thursday, and I'm gonna anticipate this and say it in advance so that it doesn't take you by surprise. The week after that, I will be not here, so there won't be a stream possible because I will not be here to do it. Yeah, but it will be just 1 week, so there will be a week break between the 17th and the 23rd of July. That week we won't have the streams. We will come back to it on the 25th, just so you've heard it. I'm sorry. It is an important trip. I'm gonna go to one of my best friend's weddings, so it can be nice. Zeku did it. Nice. Good job. I'm gonna go give it a thumbs up. Yeah. Oh, wait, I saw something. Wait. You are incompetent. Oh, wow. Battler's face and Beatrice pulling him by the tie. That's very wow. It's a good visual. Facts. You are incompetent. Butler crying with Maria. Ay ay ay. All right, I will check all of these out. That's cute. Oh, and a burn, a nice burn fan art at the end there. Very cute, very cute. I'll check them out. Nice. Okay, guys, this has been a blast. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a nice weekend. Take care of yourselves. Rest, sleep. I promise I will do the same. And yeah, we will pick this back up next Tuesday. see where it goes and in how many ways. In how many more ways, there we go. And how many more ways it manages to break me. At least I'll have some time to recover until next time. Yeah. Take care. Night night. Love you all. You're great.